Welcome back to Streamline Investigations, people. And we're just going to get into a short video. SA police searching mine shaft for missing Gus Lamont. The latest news.
Australian police have begun searching unsealed mine shafts near the remote property where 4-year-old Gus Lamont went missing in late September. Let's bring in former homicide detective Gary Jubelin for more on this now. Gary, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. You've got incredible insight when it comes to these kinds of searches. It's been 60 days since he first went missing, little Gus. Why are they only now searching the mine shafts over there?
They've always indicated that they're going to look at all possibilities. I think the fact that they've extended the search to mine shafts is indicative of the fact that they're looking at possible intervention, human intervention, because it would be unlikely that Gus would be able to make his way that far. So I think it's a slight shift that they're looking at all possibilities and there might be some form of intervention in Gus's disappearance.
It's such hostile earth, right? It's such a hostile environment. What is it in particular that mystifies police so dramatically with this particular case? Is it the environment?
The environment is a contributor, but I think the fact that they haven't got any evidence at this stage, and that's why they're broadening the search. So they're looking for any possibility of obtaining some information that might give them an idea on what happened to Gus.
It's been 60 days. How much closer are you to any kind of evidence, any kind of answers?
This is the grind part of an investigation where police will be reviewing the information they've got, analysing what they've got and looking at other possibilities. So it's a tough time, I would suggest. 60 days in. Yeah,
so this search will take 3 days in this particular part of the area. Where do they go next?
I think they would look back at all the information they've got and explore all opportunities, but the fact that they're searching so far away from where Gus first disappeared suggests to me they're looking at possible intervention.
Yeah, all right, Gary, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Let's hope they get some answers soon, especially for...
Very, very interesting there. Very interesting. Welcome back to part two, Streamliners and the public. Well, just to confirm, obviously, what Gary says, the ex-homicide police officer, is there a possibility that it could be third-party invention and police, Australian police, South Australian police, are writing off that theory? But it's interesting because, like I said, I think they should have been a little bit more hands-on. And look, there's no trace of Gus, which is a massive problem. So that actually tells us that there's more to this case than meets the eye. If he wandered off, I think the police are actually thinking that he would have been found by now, or a body would have been found. Or if he was attacked by a wild dog, some kind of animal, there would have been elements, sadly, of blood around. And that theory, I think, have gone out the window by the public who want more answers into this case. It is absolutely bizarre that they haven't got any leads on where he is. And like I said, one of the weird things is, I wrote it down as well, is that there's no update from the family and how they're feeling. They just seem to be getting on with their lives as normal. When you see Josie, when you see Shannon out, we've not seen their daughter Jessica, which is just unbelievable. How is she feeling? What are her thoughts on this? Joshua hasn't said a word, and he's living in one of their houses in Adelaide, which just doesn't make sense to me while no one's talking. So it tells me someone knows something. Someone really does know something, and we're not really being told the truth. And if the police are coming back, and this homicide, basically ex-officer, is coming on the news and basically saying that the police are still suspicious about this case, and there's a possibility they may think that his body may be hidden somewhere, or there's some kind of foul play. But I think they should have been sort of really, really up on this in the early days, because so much time has passed since Gus went missing on September the 27th, and yet they've still got nothing. But like I said, I do find people are going to start questioning the police in how have they not found any information on this young lad. It is absolutely bizarre. Let's move on, people, to some of the other news. But this is by the Daily Mail people who's covered this case excellently, I think, at the end of the day, and some really good reporters as well. Cameron Carpenter, Deputy News Editor, goes on to say, this is from this morning, police have confirmed there are still no signs of 4-year-old Gus Lamont after they completed searching a mine shaft near the family property in the outback South Australia. Southpole said on Tuesday that officers would search 6 mine shafts near Oak Park Station nearly 2 months after Gus disappeared. But on Wednesday, they confirmed the latest search had found nothing. The inspection of the mine shafts located between 5.5 km and 12 km from the Oak Park homestead did not locate any evidence to assist in the investigation into Gus's disappearance, police said. Several of the shafts were relatively shallow and could be visually inspected, by the remainder were up to 20 meters deep, and specialized equipment, you would have thought, you know, really decent camera equipment required to complete the searches. Gus' family has been advised of the results of the renewed search. The latest search from police drainage of a large dam, obviously, which we know about. We're just going to move on. I mean, they're quite, you know, you wouldn't be able to sort of get a sort of a big guy sometimes down one of these sort of drops at the end of one of these holes. Do you know what I mean? Because it would be quite, these mine shafts, because it would be quite dangerous as well. This came after extensive ground and aerial searches involving SA police, ADF personnel, SES volunteer, indigenous trackers and local landholders. Early on October 7th, police concluded a 4-day search at Oak Park Station building on an initial 10-day operation launched immediately after Gus disappeared. But again, they found nothing. The boy was last seen by grandmother Sharon Murray playing on a mound of dirt outside the early evening. When she returned 30 minutes later to call him inside, he had vanished. But like I said, I just don't see so much stress on Josie's, Shannon and Josie's faces when they've been out and about at the end of the day. It is a really bizarre case, and I hope that basically the family really do get some leads. It is very to get lost in station that size, said the friends. Shannon grew up out there and she almost got lost a few years ago. I mean, we've heard that story, I understand that, but like I said, I would just want something from the family to come out and say, look, at the end of the day, thank you to the police. Nothing. It is really